This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Ball making, ball hawking, creates opportunities for his defense with his length, plays to the strength of the system as well, knows where his help is. Smart football player, really good football player, very talented. It's going to be fun to watch whoever he's matched up on and just watch how our guys compete against him.
Posted yesterday that he integrated players with the game plan, went to them, got their feedback on certain things they liked. As you build the culture here, is that a main part of what you want in terms of their input and having them be involved with building a culture?
Yeah, I think it's important that, you always go back to the players and ask, hey, what are you comfortable with? Especially now for Bo, right? New play caller, getting a feel for your players. Again, we talked about this last week, the synergy, energy, and the feel for one another. And as Bo's growing, as I'm growing with Bo and this offense, just understanding what works well for our guys, and not for the play caller. How do we execute? What do we execute at a higher level with? And those guys did have some input. I asked them to do that as well. But more importantly, it's going to come down to the play caller and the quarterback and what we're comfortable with. And then more importantly, what can we execute at a high level to give us an opportunity to win?
After the emotion of last week and on Sunday, how do you avoid a letdown this week?
Well, we knew last week was going to be emotion, and we checked that this morning. We can't win the National Football League each and every week on emotions. We'll get burnt out. Now it comes back to what football's all about: the execution, fundamentals, technique, doing your job, maintaining, like I answered earlier, that winning stamina, that purpose. And just, again, as simple as it is, just do your job. We don't need the extra stuff. That will come with us playing well. Our guys are motivated. It's a new week for us. Last week's behind us, and we're looking forward.
Going back to what Ed asked about culture, how much of the culture do you think you can change in about a half a season left?
Step by step, brick by brick. Last week was the first step. We'll continue this week with what our mindset will be as far as our mantra, as far as what we want to lead into with the Jets, and we'll keep that in-house. But, yeah, I don't think that's a problem. I think you can flip the switch anytime, to be honest, if you choose to. If you choose to, and we do have 53 men and coaches that do just that. They're choosing to make a difference.
How important does it have someone like Max? You never have to worry about flipping a switch. He's just always on.
Yeah, you get nervous, You always wonder if he's going to get burnt out, but he's not. I mean, I tried to, and I'm going to continue to keep trying to match his energy, but on a game, on that field, on that grass, you saw the effort, the way he plays. It's reckless. He gives up his body for his team. It's contagious. And what we do and what we've done, and Patrick Graham and that defensive staff have done an outstanding job of telling everybody they need to match it. All 11 need to match Max Crosby. Our staff, our building needs to match his purpose, his why, his energy, his effort. And if we do that, we'll have winning performances.
He said, even though there's been a lot of joking about you guys matching each other's energy, he says it goes back even further than that. That you, I think he said, try to get under his skin or something before every game to fire him up. Maybe even dating back to last year.
Yeah.
What brought that about? What's this?
Just being around him, just trying to, when I first got here, it jumped off to me. Like, this guy's in the building at 6 a.m. Doesn't leave till 6 p.m. Then you watch him practice. I remember Denzel Perriman, like, AP, you haven't seen nothing like this. I'm like, I've seen guys work hard and effort. And no, he's right. I have not ever seen a player be consistent like Max Crosby. But, it's just us just talking about, simple things outside of football, and then that carried over onto the grass. Obviously, I never coached Max. I was with the linebackers, but I was always next to Max. And I could feel his energy. And it reminded me when I played that kind of purpose and that kind of mindset. And we would just talk about certain things, and it would be things that I would hear him saying. I'm like, I did play with Bruce Smith and Michael Strahan, guys like that. So, we started calling out names, and then it got to some really good, deep conversations, and that's just obviously grown with our relationship with one another.
Antonio, Robert Spillane's played 597 snaps this year, indicating that he's on the field quite a bit as a linebacker. So that's often the case. What is it about him that he's shown you guys that, he should be out there 3 downs, every down?
Yeah, lunch pill, hard hat, broke his hand early in the game. Against the Lions, never flinched. Didn't miss a snap, taped it up, kept going. Next day, came in, had surgery, got it cast up, went out there and played every snap. That's the mentality you want. You got your superstars, you got the guys that get all the credit, and you got guys like this, the lunch pill guys that just come to work every day and does it with a smile. He's been like that since day one. I remember the first time we talked over the phone. When we signed him, his energy, I could feel his fire in his belly of being an undrafted guy, getting cut from one team, not getting the opportunity he thought he was going to get at certain places, and he brought that here. And the first thing he did when he got here was give him Max Crosby, and he tried to match that energy. It didn't work out. But what he's done for us is the mental part. Been really good for Patrick Graham, our linebacker core, and our defense, because he does a lot of things pre and post snap that helps us.
AP, you and Bo, different positions, different personalities, same mindset towards football. Attack, attack, attack. How much, I guess, peace of mind does it give you to know you're a defensive guy, but your OC has your mindset?
Yeah, that was conversation that goes back to, walk around the building, getting to know one another, and really on the treadmill. We do that right before practice, and we continue to do that before practice. Keep our routine, don't change. We are who we are. And just you can tell in the tone, and when you ask questions about just me even talking about other opponents and the mindset and hearing him speak and talk, I thought it was just a good match. And you can see how players react to him and respond to him and how well he's done with Aiden and just that whole quarterback group and really in general. But he has a certain calmness about him. It's a little southern drawl, totally different than AP, and I love it because you need a little bit of yin and yang. But the mindset is there. Is to win, is to be aggressive, is attack. I mean, you saw what we did 2 nights ago, and then that's not going to change. Bo has my full support, Champ Kelly's full support, and the team has really rallied behind his philosophy and what he wants to do going forward.
Something that Max said after last game was that while he thinks the defense is playing well, he thinks there's another level it can get to. What are some areas that you would like to see more out of the defense?
Run defense. It was great getting 8 sacks. It's not cool giving up 100 yards. That's not cool. The cool part is about being heavy-handed, dominant up front, making the team one-dimensional. That's I don't care what team, what year football we're in, you stop the run. You got to be stout up front. You got to be heavy-handed. Linebackers got to be hammers. The corners got to come out there and be secondary support players, and our back end got to come down there and bring that thump. And until you really establish that, you can't be the defense we really want to be, and that's what Max is saying. So for us, it's really about being heavy-handed up front. PG and Matt Edwards and Robbie Leonard do a great job of that every week, just harping that. But now we got to do it each and every week. We got to be consistent, and we do that. We got pass rushers, and they showcased that the last couple of weeks.
So you had to turn to Amari Burney a little bit on Sunday, and statistically it looks like he responded. What did you like about the rookie?
Well, it really goes back to the Detroit Lions. Had a couple linebackers nicked up. We throw him in. He was inactive for a couple weeks, goes in there, and here's a guy that's, quarterback, wide receiver, safety. Okay, I want to be a linebacker. Now I'm in the pros, getting used to using your hands, how to play downhill and run game, confidence. And I think also sometimes it's okay to take a step back. He didn't play for a couple weeks, so what did he do? He worked his tail off on the scout team, and we're sitting there, hey, come on, Bernie, keep going. And then all of a sudden you get an opportunity on defense, and you just say, man, look, let it loose. All the stuff that we saw on scout team, now it's the game. It's just bright lights and the cameras, more cameras. So he's done an excellent job of just, more importantly, taking the mental aspect of the game and studying why he has not been playing, and that's been showing up on film.
How much does it benefit him that he's teachable?
I think the one thing we've done here from a personnel standpoint is bringing in smart, tough, dependable guys. He's at practice, he's in meetings, he stays late. You always see him studying. He's asking questions. He's not a big rah-rah guy. Sometimes you kind of lose him a little bit because he's a rookie, and the rookies get lost. You got to grab him back in. But he's done an excellent job of just keeping his focus, especially when you're not playing, because you can kind of get lost in the shuffle, right? And he has not done that. When I was in the linebacker room with him, the countless hours that we spent outside of meeting time of getting an extra film session is now paying off, and the kid has confidence as he goes on the field.
Going back to stopping the run, is that going to be an extra emphasis this week with Breece Hall coming into town on Sunday night?
I would think so. I mean, the explosive runs that he has, 80, 70-yard runs, he can get to the outside, very patient runner, big. I tried to recruit him out of college. He told me no right away. I was like, okay, well, cool, no problem. But this is a different back. This is going to be challenging for us up front. We understand that. They don't hide it when they want to run. We know they want to run. We know they want to be tough and get after the run game, and that's what our guys are. And it's a great challenge for us this week, and the guys did it with a smile today in the meetings and in the walkthrough, and we'll see how practice looks.
We were just talking about Amari, another rookie that kind of stepped up is Nesta J. Severa, a guy that was activated. What went to the decision of kind of bringing him up in the progression you've seen from him as well?
Yeah, I think you see it across the league. Mid-season, hey, those rookies need to start going, right? Some of the vets have taken a lot of pounding. It's now time, look, you've been in the league 8-9 weeks, you've done a great job in practice. Now let's see who's on the field. He only played a few snaps, but, another gentleman I recruited out of college, when I was at the previous employer, and he did a excellent job of when he got in the game of just being physical. Like, we didn't need to make plays. Just, hey, do your job. do your job, and he did just that. And he's a guy who's gonna keep growing as he gets more and more reps.
Last week certainly wasn't normal around here. I mean, do you feel it is now? Is this normal? Is that something you want? Do you want routine and normalcy, or do you want kind of, what last week was emotion-wise?
No, I don't want last week. I like organized chaos. Keyword organized chaos. Not when you get thrown everywhere. And but at the end of the day, you don't blink. You just come in and you just work, man. At the end of the day, we got a job to do. We know what we signed up for. It's not easy. But it was good to get in there and just get a normal, hey, here's our team meeting, go to special teams, go to defense, go to walkthrough, go out there on the grass. We ain't got to answer the tough questions. We got to answer just things that's come up for the following week.
How about the game being on Sunday night? The fact that all the eyes are being on you guys. You kind of feel like what they were anyway. But, I mean, Sunday night football, this is where the Raiders should be. Get you guys out there to a national audience.
Yeah, I mean, that was our mindset last week, us against the world. And that hasn't changed. It won't change as long as I'm in front of this team and this podium. We will carry that chip. But, again, at the end of the day, it's always fun to play underneath the bright lights. That's when the stars step up, right? And that's when certain guys make a name for themselves. And for us, it's a great opportunity on a national stage with everybody watching Sunday night against a very good physical football team to, again, showcase that we can keep pounding and compounding brick by brick, win by win, play by play performances by our team.
Let's go Q, Heidi, and wrap it up with Hondo.
Kind of go along the lines with that same question. When people talk about the Las Vegas Raiders led by Antonio Pierce, what do you want that message to be? Yeah, first and foremost, just a mentally tough team. A team that you see out there saying, damn, that's how football's supposed to be played. Running the ball, stopping the run, having fun, doing it as a team. And more importantly, like the love and passion for the game. I hope that if you never get to come to one of our games in the stadium, that when you watch on television, like, damn, them dudes love ball. They love ball. They love playing for one another. And if I can get that, I've accomplished one of my goals.
I wanted to ask Coach just how excited you get for the opportunity to go up against a coach who's very defensive-minded like yourself.
Yeah, it's always good, defensive coach. You can know what kind of game it's going to be. It ain't going to be a shootout, I can tell you that, right? So, but no, it's obviously a lot of respect for Robert and his staff and what they've done. I got a lot of friends on that staff. Respect what they've done, what they've been able to accomplish. They've gone through a lot of off the field and turmoil on the field with as far as injuries and things that they have overcome. But much respect. He's done it for a long time in this league. I've watched him going back to when he was the Niners and how he's moved up in his ranks. Respect, and again, just not challenges. But again, the best part about it, me and Robert don't play against one another. He's got to get Devontae. I got to worry about Bell and Williams and all those guys that got on their side of the ball. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Coach, you talked about being born a Raider. I'm just curious, coaches get in a box and they're just so busy. Have you been able to take a moment and appreciate, wow, this drink, I got it here now. Are you able to appreciate it yet, or is it just so fast you can't?
No, you got to take it. I tell our players, that's why we gave them time off. Sit back and really enjoy the fruits of our labor. Too often we just pound, and next thing you know, you pound yourself right in that grave, and you don't really reap the benefits of your labor. So for me, right after that game, I went home and just kind of like, just breathe and just no TV, no music, just kind of like just try to reflect on what just transpired, the last several days. But then you realize you're in the National Football League and it's back to work and you want to do it again. That's the best feeling about it. That locker room feeling is what all our guys were talking about today. I want more. They want more. They want more. I want more. I want to stay in there longer with them and celebrate. I want to do that kind of stuff. So, no, listen, when I'm done playing the game, when I finally, decide like AP's tapped out, I'm retired, go wherever I need to go, that, wherever I've been, I made people proud. I made the gentlemen around me better. I brought people from the bottom up to the top, just like people have done for me, and I'll be okay with that. Cool. All right, thank you.
You've been watching Breaking News from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.